Man, oh man, what is going on, LBHT crew B? What's going on with the green background over there?
Well, I mean, you know, the iPad and StreamYard don't want to play nice.
Hey,
So
hey, listen, man, get
can
you
you
know.
can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
It's not your normal studio voice,
Yeah.
but it's coming in loud and clear. Okay. Shout out to everybody that came through. Look, we had a little technical difficulty. That's why we started the stream a little bit late. Apologies. But we are here.
I bet you can't guess which one of us had the difficulties.
That's all right. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right. Shout out to our guy Hendo Ravens Online Ungatekeeper says LBHT crew. Finally another show. It's the best time of the week. Yes, indeed. We
What's
got
up,
our
Endo?
man D Weezy in the house. Says what up?
What's
Thanks for
up,
coming
David?
through. Davon's in the house. Says no place I would rather be. Hashtag LBHT crew. Yes, that's what I'm talking
Yes.
about. Yes, and our guy Andre Mears is in the house. Says, "What's up, LBHT?
What's
Shout
up,
out to
Andre?
you." Yes, we have Yesha Yahoo 84. I hope I said that right. Says, "Shalom, brethren." Hey, shalom to you, my friend. Okay, Just Allo. What's going on, Just
What's up,
Allo?
Just Allo?
Shout out to Just Allo. Yes, Raven Ron's in the house. Says, "What up, LBHT? Where is the world? Where is the world? Is Devin
Yeah.
Williams, Pro Shay's replacement on the 53-man roster. We're gonna talk about
Mm-mm.
training camp here in a minute. You see the title. Black Daniels is in the house. Says LBHT crew. What it be like, good people? What's up, Black
What's
Daniels?
up,
See
Black?
Iron Addict in the house. Appreciate you coming through. King 95, as always, man. I love seeing the regulars in here, man. I love seeing
What's
a
up, King?
strong crew. Our guy Garnett West, who's you know, him and Twitter, they got some beef right now. Okay.
Whatever, Garnet. I sent you a trade offer. I
I
know you
bet
ain't
you're
on
early,
Twitter.
Garnett.
I know you ain't on Twitter. What are you doing? Go check it.
Garnett's like, I ain't got nothing else better to do right now. Jerome Bigby, what's going on? Thanks for
What's up,
coming
Big B?
through. Yes, and
Oh man,
JP, indeed. Yes. And
Jake.
let's bring up our brother, 1/3 of Ring Kings podcast, Mr. OTR Mike. What's up?
The other
What's
one is
going
here,
on, Mike?
baby.
The other one is
Hey,
here,
Mike. I want to
Danity.
say thank you. I appreciate you jumping in on no notice there for me.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
man.
literally just called him to say, hey, I need your help. He said, say less. Say less. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
That's our brother right there. And shout out to Eric L. Says, greetings, everyone.
What's
Know
going on,
all
Eric?
is most excellent. Excited to see another marvelous show with two most excellent brothers. Let's go, LBHT crew. Yes,
But now
that's what I'm
3.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Well, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Real quick, we are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and Twitch.
Yes.
All right. So make sure you're following us over there. Also, make sure you follow Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at LBHT Show. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button. If you are looking for a super chat, we do super chat a little differently around here. Okay. There's two ways we can do it. First is not on the screen. So let me just go ahead and bring that up. All right. Here we go. Right next to the other one. $ LBHT Show. That's our Cash App. Also, the pin link that you see in the chat box. Those are that'll take you to our stream elements. Both ways, you leave your donation, leave your comment, and you get a nice little animation right next to my face, right around here. I got a different background today, but it'll pop up. All right. And shout out to Yolanda. What's going on? Says good evening, LBHT. Good evening to you,
What's
Yolanda.
up, Yolanda?
Thanks for coming through. Yes. All right. So training camp officially started yesterday. That's when the rookies reported.
Right.
Veterans don't report until next week, but we got some stuff to talk about, right? There's some things that I want to see this training camp, and we're going to discuss that. Also, Panthers got a brand new uniform. We're going to discuss the new uniform.
That's right.
And I want to touch on some other things on that as well, like why are American sports so lame when it comes to the uniforms? Like, why are we so scared to just try different things? But we'll get into that. But first, we got a Black History fact. And B, has a Black History fact for you.
Yes. Thank you, Ron Burgundy. I was just gonna with San Diego Comic-Con starting tomorrow. Just wanted to mention Clarence Matthew Baker, who went professionally by Matt Baker. He was the first African American comic illustrator, essentially. He was born in 1921 in North Carolina, moved early on to Pennsylvania. He was not able to, or he wasn't drafted because of a heart condition. And so he decided to pursue art. He went to the Jerry Iger studio, and that's what got him into the comic industry. He was known for it's, I guess, kind of an odd thing to be known for, but he was known as for the way he drew women. He was kind of famous for that. Early on in his career, a lot of his work was kind of inked over and credited to other people for obvious reasons. But he went on to make a name for himself. He wrote the first, or illustrated the first graphic novel, even though they weren't called that then. And he went on and he did a lot of illustration work for a lot of different companies. He worked on what was a kind of a precursor to Marvel. He worked for I'm trying to find the name of them right now. Sorry, I lost it here. Yeah, I am not finding it here. I wanted to say it was Atom Studios or something like that. But the comic icon or titan came before Marvel. He worked for them. He worked directly with Stan Lee on a few early comics. Unfortunately, he passed away of a heart attack very early, very young, at the age of 37. But yeah, the Matt Baker, the first Black artist in comics. And you are muted, Jose.
Sorry about that. And the first artist in a graphic novel, right?
Yes.
That's something right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Look, and shout out to Mikey. Mikey was look. This three right here, we've been working a lot. Okay, we're doing a lot on the other channel, Ring Kings Podcast. Make sure you go over there and subscribe if you're a boxing fan or if you just like seeing our faces. All right, and we just put out a video earlier this morning. I hope you enjoyed that. We gave our first top 10 list. We like to avoid top 10 stuff over here, but we've been doing it over on the other channel, and I kind of like our formula. So I figured let's do a real top 10 QB list.
It was the LBHT crew top 10 list. It wasn't just us.
Yes.
We had Mike, a couple other guests, and as well as some patrons submitted their top 10 list as well, and they were included in the rankings.
Shout out to the people that left comments and let their opinions. And I just want to say, because I know I was talking with somebody earlier on in the comments, and he wasn't no hate, nothing like that. He just like, hey, you guys are biased, but at least you're honest about it. And I told him, hey, look, every list is biased, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't know, right? Yes, there's a lot of Ravens fans in the chat, lots of Ravens fans on this channel, but it's not just Ravens fans. Okay, B is a Panthers fan, and in fact, the people that contributed to this list, I think you're looking at 3 Panthers fans, 3 Ravens fans, a Giants fan, right, and a Steeler fan. So you got a pretty decent mixture of different fan bases that contributed to this.
Right.
So yes, very interesting, very funny, and shout out to Mikey, Ferris, and Hendo for joining, and appreciate everybody else that submitted their list. But now it's time to talk a little training camp. I didn't even get that ready. Hold on. Training camp. Ravens.
Camp. Not a whole lot coming out except for, as Raven Ron alluded to, Devin Williams not showing up, being put on the reserve did not report list. And haven't seen any news as to where exactly he is, but I know where he's not going to be, and that's on the 53-man roster. So.
But wasn't Devin Williams our hope? Wasn't he supposed to be the one? Wasn't he the chosen one?
Yes.
And shout out to Shug. We were talking about a contributor. the Steeler fan. Suge Knight
Yes.
323 says LBHT is showing out today, having my favorite host on Big Mike. Wow. Just want to know who put Tyson Fury in top 10 pound for pound list. I wonder who, Suge.
Yeah.
For the
I
panel
wonder.
favorite sports movie, Mike was work fun today. Oh, was work fun today, Mike? Was it fun? That's a little inside joke. Much love to the LBHT fan.
Was not fun today, show. Was not.
No, it wasn't. Yes, and Devin Williams was supposed to be our savior. I wish I had that Star Wars clip. You were the chosen one. Look, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. He wasn't gonna make the team. I'm sorry. I don't believe in any wide receiver. I know speed isn't everything, but when you run a 4.940, I don't think you're gonna go far. I'm sorry.
That was a kid from Oregon?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was supposed to be the one. That's the 6'5" cat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a reason he went undrafted. I mean,
yeah.
It is what it is. It's fine.
JP wants to know, did we talk about Bernard Pollard's media run at all last week? No, because it actually happened after the show during the overtime show, and I was hoping, look, I'm all we're all for the clapback over here. You know we're all for that. But I was hoping that Lamar didn't respond to him in particular because Bernard Pollard is somebody we always talk about people they want attention. He needs attention. He's somebody I think he has a podcast or YouTube channel or something like that.
Yes.
And Graven had him on his channel a long time ago, and he was mad thirsty. Yo, I saw that. He was just like, yo, tell you guys to subscribe. Tell people to subscribe. He knew what was up. He gets no attention, and he's literally the type of person, if you don't mention him, you will instantly forget about him. He's very forgettable, right?
Yeah.
We remember him because we're a little bit older. Remember the hit that he put on Stephen Ridley, right, in the playoffs. But if you weren't around then, you're too young to remember. You're not going to remember Bernard Pollard, right?
Yeah, he was an unspectacular player. I mean, he was fine. He was good for a few years. He had a nice career for himself. But yeah, he's the kind of player that if you weren't following a team closely, you're not going to know.
Oh, let me give a shout out to Shay for another donation. Appreciate you, Shay. Says there's only one savior, and that's Baker, the Savior Mayfield.
God damn, we gotta raise the donation minimum. Shit, just killing me.
Hey, wasn't it Pollard that put the hit on Tom Brady?
Yes. Pollard is known for putting people out for the season. He also put Gronk out for a season, right? I think he was the one that took out his ankle or his knee or something like that. He's the one that took out Tom Brady. And then he put Stephen Ridley out in violent fashion in the playoffs on a legal hit. That was a legal hit.
I don't know if you're set up for the Cash Apps, but we did get a donation from Anonymous.
I didn't even think about that. I'm sorry, Anonymous. Look, because you usually handle that. I didn't even prepare for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the lack of notification there. But like I said, my computer is down at the moment. But Anonymous says
we'll get you up next time.
Marvelous and best show on YouTube, brothers. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. We scrambled at the last second, but I just want to say this is why this is part of the reason. This ain't the main reason. It's part of the reason why we push for the Cash App donations instead of Super Chat. Super Chat, you put it up there. If we miss it, it's gone, right? That Cash App donation. All right, we got technical difficulties today. The next time we come on, we can bring that message right up there. Okay, we will read every one of your donations. It will not be missed. If you're missing in this show, we'll catch you on the next show. All right. So appreciate it, Anonymous. Thank you very much. Don C, what's going on? Man, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. So Brodny and Mike and Jose, what up, LBHT? Yes. Yeah. So I mean, Pollard, we already spent more time than I wanted to discussing him. He's a troll that needs because he interacted with Lamar. Lamar went back and forth. Now he's a guest on other people's show, right? Where otherwise they would have never thought about calling him up, no matter what he said. Right? He could have said anything he wanted, and people were like, whatever. But because Lamar responded back, he gave him more than 15 minutes of attention. So I hate it. I hate it. But
But
that's over and done with.
But it was funny, and there wasn't anything going on. Training camp hadn't started yet, so it's whatever. But the Ravens rookies reported yesterday. Among the first in the NFL. Training camp doesn't officially get started until next week when the veterans get there. But why don't you guys share what you're most looking forward to, or what you're going to be having your eye on in training camp?
Ooh,
Go ahead, Mikey.
Oh, you don't want me to go first?
Okay,
all
right.
So watching next week. I might even pull up to the castle and just sit in the parking lot, and I'm just watching this one guy who wears a number 8, if he shows up or not.
Yes.
And I'm hoping he does it. I'm hoping he does. I'm sorry. I know the fans don't want to hear that, but I hope he does it.
I'm with Mikey.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm with Mikey. Run a practice, because what's funny? He didn't show up to voluntary workouts, and they were talking about how disheveled it was, right? Like they didn't use the word disheveled early. They just said he wasn't there, and you could tell the coaching staff had an attitude about it. But when he showed up to the mandatory part, there are reports of practice picked up. It was a different energy and all that. So, what's it gonna be like if he doesn't show up to training camp early on?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything just looks just out of sync. It just looks awful. But again, just to Mikey's point, Mikey here is a master negotiator. Okay, if y'all don't know, he really is a master negotiator. So when he's saying, "I hope he doesn't show up," he's not saying, "I hope Lamar causes problems for organization." He's saying, well, Lamar strategically is making sure that they understand that they need to pay him. And if he doesn't show up that first week and they look out of sync like they did in mini camp, that's just more pressure on them to get the deal done. All right. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing we both want to see. What you say, B?
Oh, I was gonna say what it's gonna look like if he doesn't show up is red alert, everybody hitting the panic button. You won't be able to keep up with Twitter, and Greg's gonna have 17 videos out before the end of day one. Like it's not gonna be pretty. Right?
Yeah. We'll have at least 2. Man, look. Look, no deal. No practice. I'm sorry. My client needs to make sure he stays healthy. There's nobody rolls on the ankle. Yeah, in fact, even if a deal were done, I would still be inclined to say, don't show up first week. I want to see, is the field okay? Are your drills, have you improved on it? Nobody's having some non-contact injuries like last year, back to back. Right?
Yeah.
Like I want to see that first. Test the field. Y'all go test the field, and then I'll be out there. All right. So yeah, I'm inclined either way to say Lamar sit out at least the first week. Lamar's he's ready. He's ready. He only be there the first week. All right. Another thing, and I've been annoying these two about it. I've been saying it for a while. Like, what I want to see, he doesn't have to go out there helmet and pads and be in full workout, but he has to be there day one. Ronnie Stanley, even if he just goes and works out on the sideline, even if he's in plain clothes, right, and street clothes, just stand there chilling, I need to see him there day one, because that will tell me at least that he's closer to getting ready to play. He may not be ready week 1 or 2 or whatever, but he's out there doing some sort of practice. If he doesn't show up, that tells me we got to put him on a pup list. Right?
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that about Ronnie Stanley. Specifically, that you called him street clothes, because I'm tired of hearing that about Anthony Davis. When Ronnie Stanley has missed a year and a half, and y'all act like it's just fine.
It's like basketball.
No, it's not basketball. But I'm just saying.
He showed up for one. You don't have that visual of Ronnie Stanley rolling around.
Listen, he rolled around
for a low ankle sprain.
He's a very large man. Okay, he's almost 7 feet tall. He needed some space. He rolled around a little bit. He was all right. But Ronnie, you've seen him show up for work once in the last year and a half. So street clothes it is.
Whose fault is that? They rushed him back way too soon.
Okay.
Let's read a couple of comments here. What's up, Shaheen? He says, shout out to CGI Brodny.
What's up, Shaheen?
Oh man, thanks for coming through, man.
I think I realized the mistake that I made with the green screen too, but it's too late now.
Yeah. Don C says he thinks it's a lock with Travis Jones. He's replying to Raven Ron. Raven Ron says eyes on Dalen Hayes improvement. Travis Jones possible takeover for nose tackle and Marcus Williams in shape. Yeah.
I don't think that's a lock at all with Michael Pierce there.
I forgot about Michael Pierce.
Yeah,
I forgot about him. Because he didn't show up to minicamp. What did he?
He had an excused absence. They didn't say exactly. They said it was personal, but he just wasn't.
Michael Pierce is a solid player. So yeah, it's not a lock. But look, people like Travis Jones, man. Like that's he's got a high grade for a lot of people.
People like every defensive rookie that the Ravens draft until they start playing defense for the Ravens.
No, Travis Jones was high on a lot of these undrafted.
I know. Yeah. People love Patrick Queen too. People love Malik Harrison too. People love Justin Madubuike too.
I still love Patrick Queen. I believe in him. Okay.
People loved Darius Washington.
Mr. J6 says I hope Ajabu can play this year. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. He's definitely starting on the PUP list, and then we'll see. Like there'll be some recovery time after he comes off the PUP list. They'll kind of slowly work him in. Maybe he'll get in, maybe not. If he does, I think it's going to be very few snaps that you see him in.
There's talks of at the earliest, maybe week 10, week 11, maybe he'll get 6 to 7 games in there. If that, and I mean that's a big if. So
I think they should just shut him down. It's not going to be worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
But what
are you expecting to get from a rookie in the last couple games of the season that's going to make it worth it to rush him back, as opposed to just throwing him on IR, giving him a redshirt season, and coming back next year?
Yeah, I agree. But you know what happened though, right? We get to the offseason, Ravens fans say we need an edge rusher.
Yeah.
We don't know. Look, Ojabo, we didn't see him last year. We don't know what he could do. So we got to get this edge rusher in the first round. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do we have here? Yolanda says she's very concerned about Stanley. I'm concerned about how they handle him. Ronnie Stanley didn't suffer any career-ending injury, despite what people think, right? He just got hurt.
I'm confused. Are we talking about street clothes, or is that who y'all are discussing right now?
Well, Raven Ross says street clothes equals Ronnie Stanley and Imam Marshall. That's right, a fact about Imam Marshall. That's a fact. I mean, look. I mean, we can look at the Panthers. We can. I didn't want to mention Christian McCaffrey, but
Christian McCaffrey ain't street clothes. CMC. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey got a big raise and took a lot of PTO that he had saved up.
I'm gonna call
the same thing.
I'm gonna call him pitch count. Okay. you better not give him more than 15 snaps a game. You asking for trouble.
I don't believe. I'm sorry, it's an aside, but I don't believe that he's been that seriously hurt. He played 16 games, all 3 of his first 3 years in the NFL, and he was playing, the second and third season, he was playing 98% of the snaps, and then all of a sudden he can't play. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
No, they held him out because the team was bad.
Let's see here. Mr. J says, I hope Charlie Kolar and Isaiah Likely will be used more than protecting Lamar and watching Andrews get all the reps. Look, as long as they protect Lamar, that's number one. I don't expect anything from these guys, Look, Mark Andrews, he's a beast, and he'll make up for what the other tight ends don't give you in the passing game. He won't make up what we don't get in the wide receiver game, though. Look, a lot's being placed on Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman. I think it's unfair for Rashad Bateman, if we're being honest. Second year wide receiver, and people are treating him like he is a top 10 wide receiver. Like he's one of the best wide receivers in the league, and he's gonna be a beast. And I mean, we hope all this stuff, but that's a lot of pressure to put on them. And what we're talking about isn't just about stats. We ain't talking about a guy that can get over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, right? With 17 games, and you're getting a lot of targets. That that's doable. What we're talking about is playoffs. What kind of player can you be when you get to the playoffs and you're playing the top teams, experienced teams? Those catches aren't as easy to make. Those windows are a little bit tighter, right? People are going even faster than before. What can you do in those moments? We don't know. I mean, you haven't gotten a chance to play in the playoffs, but it'll be your first time. It'll be a new experience for you. And a lot of rookies and young players say it, like, yeah, man, playoffs is a different animal, and it takes some adjustment. Yeah. But will you be able to do enough along with Mark Andrews to make us to help us make a run? So we'll see.
And it's a different ball game. Listen, when you are considered the true number one, it's a different ball game. You're seeing different coverages that you've never seen, right?
Yeah.
So if he is who we hope he is, it's going to be a whole. He's now going to see the team's best corner, right? Mm-hmm. He may see a double team or two, so it's just going to be different. So I mean, his expectations should be more than they were last year.
Yeah.
But tempering them is probably the best thing to do at this point to save yourself some heartache, just in case it doesn't turn out the way it is. But it's going to be different for him. It's going to be harder for him out there. Of course, he's going to be one of the focal points for the defense now. So we'll see, man. But that's first round pick. Expectations are there. But I agree with you, Zay. Like this town is treating him like he went first overall, and yeah, we don't have that. So
all I'm saying is Julio Jones still out there. All right.
Yeah.
Julio Jones, yes, he gets hurt a lot. You could say he fell off. I would feel very comfortable if we had Julio Jones on our team during the playoffs. I feel a lot more comfortable. Shout out to Tanja for coming through. Says, "Hey, Flock family." Hey, Tanja.
What's up, Tanja? I guess she wasn't talking to me. I'm not Flock family, but it's all right.
You're still family, though. Mr. J says Tyler Linderbaum needs to be Lamar's best friend. Yeah, that's actually one of the people that I don't talk about because I just assume he's going to play very well, right? If he doesn't, it would be a historic disaster for the Ravens. No center picked in the first round. Let me put it this way: every center that has been picked in the first round in NFL history has made it to a second contract, right? That's what they said on the broadcast at the time. So, something about the position when they get drafted that high, there's no guessing there. Like it's pretty much known that guy is going to be. It may not be great, but he's going to be starting caliber, right?
Right.
So, and that's our first time drafting the center in the first round. So I don't think we missed on that. I have my questions about EDC, but I don't think we missed on Tyler Linderbaum. So I don't even. I don't talk about it because I'm not worried about it. He's a lock in my mind. Andre Mir says Christian McCaffrey is street clothes at this point. Boy, always hurt.
I just want to point out that J.K. Dobbins has missed 50% of his career games.
J.K. Dobbins, he's only in his third year.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I'll say this. I think
actually slightly more because last year was 17 games, not 16.
So last year for Christian McCaffrey, they shut him down. It wasn't that he couldn't go. They shut him down. And look, man, when you're not winning, it's hard to play through injuries when you're not playing for anything. Right? You start thinking, okay, this isn't going anywhere. Let me save myself for next year. Let me get healthy for next year, and maybe we can make a run. All right. So it's not the same, right? Like street clothes and NBA, AD, like they needed him, and he's just like, nah, we got LeBron. Okay, we got LeBron.
It was ironic that CMC got real healthy when Cam Newton came to town. That excitement. He was ready.
Ravens Online on Gatekeepers says 5 tight end sets loading.
No, I mean that's still 4 because Isaiah Likely is going to be a wide receiver with his 4'8", 40 and 240 pounds.
Yeah. Shout out to Diggs. By the way, 7 says, "Hey, what's up, G? Hey, what's up with you over there on Twitch?" That's what I'm talking about. Make sure you hit that follow over there if you're not already followed, man. Appreciate that. No, I don't want Cole Beasley, Mr. J. He's asking what we think about Cole Beasley. No, thank you. Raven Ron said Queen already benched for a veteran, not thinking about that scrub. He's not benched. Who did he get benched for?
Well, I mean, he lost his job to Josh Bynes.
Well, yeah, they did.
He's not on the bench. So
yeah, he almost lost his job had we picked up Bobby Wagner, but we were too scared. All right. What's up, Jay? Jason, he says, good evening. I am now here. CB has that green screen. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Listen, that green screen is keeping your eyes on the screen. You're saying, what is that? What is it over there? Let me check that out. What else we got here? Shaheen says, I know you guys don't like Sammy Watkins, but if he was still on the team, we would have been by far our best option after Bateman.
You know what's really funny about that? Sammy Watkins, and I know this is just, a couple people's opinion, but Sammy Watkins went to Green Bay to play with Aaron Rodgers, and their receiving core was ranked below Baltimore's in the last list I saw.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is what it is.
Sammy Watkins, on paper, he's talented, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if he's healthy, yeah, I would agree with that. But he's never healthy, right?
Well, and when he's healthy, he doesn't play that well. So,
well, yeah. He's somebody, and we said it before. We don't like to say this about players, but he looks like he's a little lazy, right?
Lacks motivation.
Yeah, lacks motivation. That's the impression I get. But who knows? Maybe when you're in Green Bay and there's nothing else to do, and you got Aaron Rodgers screaming at you, maybe he'll get a little bit more motivated. All right, we'll see. Let's see what else we got here.
Mike, I want you to pay attention to that too about Green Bay's receiving core being so bad. Christian Watson's part of that. So anytime you want to move that bust out of your lineup, that's you let me know.
No, that just says more playing time.
No.
Jay wants to know, will Justice Hill make our roster?
That's to both of you. No.
Yes.
He's not going to make it.
Yes, he is. You heard a report from Ian Rappaport. J.K. Dobbins will not be ready for week 1. All right,
but they've got Gus. They've got
not
Mike Davis.
Pup.
They've got Beatty, and they don't like Justice.
Gus is going on the pup list. Dobbins, despite what he said, is going on the pup list.
He's not going to go on the pup list.
He's going on the pup list.
No.
All the running backs initially are going to make this team. Now, as these guys get healthy, then yes, somebody's going to get cut. But initially, yes, Justice Hill will be on this team. Okay. Jerome Bigby wants to know who's going to be under more pressure to play well this season, Hollywood or Bateman. There's no pressure on Hollywood. Yeah. What's the pressure for Hollywood? He's number 2 over there, right? Next to Hopkins, right? Well, I mean, Hopkins is suspended for a few games, but Hopkins comes back there's a clear number 1 over there. And he's going to perform. They pass the ball more. Better scheme, and he's not a bad wide receiver. There's not going to be pressure on Hollywood. It's all the pressure's on Bateman because not only are we saying we, as in Ravens flock, not only are we saying Bateman's better, we're also saying that he's so good we don't need anybody else, right? That's what you're saying, right? Oh, we don't need anybody else. These other young guys, they'll step up enough because you don't believe any of these other guys will be 1,000-yard wide receivers. You're not saying that. Even you got Prochet, right? You don't believe he's a 1,000-yard wide receiver. You think he can do just enough because Bateman and Andrews are going to do all the heavy lifting. So there's a lot of pressure on Bateman, a whole lot. It's unfair, but there is. What else we got? King 95 wants to know what y'all expect from JK. We might have a 2K backfield without Lamar. No,
I'm honestly not expecting a big year from J.K. Dobbins. If he's possibly going to be missing the start of the season, I wouldn't expect him to be back to 100% at any point this year. I'm going to say, similar total numbers to what he did not last year, but in his rookie year, maybe around 700 to 800 yards. And I think that probably you'll see Gus. Well, actually, it depends on Gus's health also, right? If both of them are still kind of recovering to start the season, you're going to see 3 or 4 guys with 600 yards, right? And nobody really kind of stepping up and taking over the backfield.
What do you think, Mikey?
So, what scares me about this situation is I go back to when they were in the running to sign Melvin Gordon, or were trying to sign him, right? You try to, willing to invest that type of money into a running back tells me that your top 2 is not looking like they're gonna be ready. So that worries me. Now they settled for Mike Davis. So we'll see how that goes, but I don't know, man. He's saying, like, JK saying he's gonna be there. He's gonna be ready. He says he's gonna be ready week 1. I just don't see it. And we were actually there, unfortunately, to witness.
We were there. We were right there, line of sight when we saw him go down.
Yeah. And it was bad. And we knew when he went down that it was bad. So
yeah.
It happened early in the season, right? So that's another thing that's scaring me. Like, typically if these type of injuries happen later in the season, obviously, it affects how late it'll be when they come back into the next season.
Yeah.
It happened early, and they're still saying that, he's not ready. So I don't know, man. My expectations, I'm tempering my expectations for JK as well. If he can be 1,000-yard back, even if he can do what he did his rookie year, I think that's a plus. That's a win for this team. But it depends, man. It depends how you're looking out there.
So Raven Ron thinks JK gets 1,000 yards easy. Hendo says, "No, I gave up everything to acquire JK." He didn't give up everything. He just gave me Kareem Hunt. We're talking about our dynasty football league here. Well, the league is not open right now, but we'll have another fantasy football league opening up beginning of the season.
I mean, we might have one spot if Garnet don't get on there and respond to my trade. I'll tell you that.
You want to get in the fantasy football league? Patreon.com/LBHT Show. We'll discuss more on that in a minute. D Weezy is waiting. I just want to address this running thing real quick, and then we'll do lunch money bets. But look, even when we broke the record for rushing, right, 3,000 yards, I don't think we had a 2,000-yard backfield, right? I think because Lamar had 1,200 yards rushing, I believe.
Yeah, I think I think if you add up everybody, they probably did, but
I don't think they did. I know Mark Ingram
was over 1,000.
He's over 1,000. And then you had
I guess you had not counting Lamar then.
Yeah. Right. So no, I don't think we'll have a 2K backfield. I hope we do, because I want Lamar to run a lot less, but I don't think we're gonna have a 2K backfield. I think I'm not even sure if one of these guys will get to 1,000 yards, just because they're not healthy. And J.K. Dobbins, I think J.K. Dobbins is 1,000-yard back. Don't get me wrong, but he ain't gonna be ready, right? That's why they signed what's his name, Mike Davis, right? That's why they signed him. They don't expect either one of those guys to be ready week 1. So he'll play well once he gets up to speed. Gus will too. I don't think there'll be 1,000-yard backs, unfortunately, because they're still going to lean on Lamar. Right? Jobs are on the line. There's a lot on the line, and they're not going to try to make any changes. They're not going to try to do anything that they're not used to doing. They're going to just stick to what they know works for them, and that's running Lamar. Right?
Oh no, they did have a 2,000-yard. Well, I mean, depends on if you're going to count. If you're going to count Robert Griffin, Robert Griffin put him over the.
But he's not running back.
But yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It depends on. And Anthony Levine had a 60-yard run, but he's not a running back. Also, Mark Ingram had 1,018 yards. Gus had 711 yards. Justice Hill had 225.
So they were close. Yeah. And that was the record setting year. I don't think we're gonna see that this year.
Wow. Okay, well, I guess Garnett did not like the trade offer, but okay, that's fine.
All right, keep your questions coming. We're gonna do some lunch money bets. We're gonna talk some Panthers uniform, and then in bonus time we'll talk some more. This is a hot topic here. 51 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button, and if you're new, hit the subscribe button. Yes. But now it is time for you gambling degenerates to get your pen and papers ready. If you're new to sports betting is becoming legal in more and more places, and you have questions, put them in the chat. D Weezy is here to answer all of your questions and give you the hot takes, the hot lines that you want to make. Listen to this man because he's been on fire lately. D Weezy, what's going on, my friend?
What's up, Derek?
Not much. What's going on, everybody?
How you doing, man? Break it down to us. Tell us about your hot streak, and then give us the hotness.
Well, I mean, you want to be real about it. I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, in the past 3-4 weeks, I've had multiple unit wins off the plays I gave on the show.
Nice.
Last week, I believe it was the Orioles parlay to win their 10th game in that winning streak, which happened to end the very next game. The game total I had, it ended up going to push, but at the book I used, basically, it doesn't kill the parlay. You didn't lose, so the parlay is still active. So the money line came through, thus winning. But yeah, home run derby. I walked away with a few units after taking Juan Soto to make the finals in the home run derby at plus 250. Had him down to win at plus 450. Both those hits. This week it's almost like the universe knew, because I was gonna come on and tell my boxing round robin that I got put together. Last time I did this, came through all the way. We got the Ring Kings fellas here tonight. So it's almost fitting that I get into that. I believe off the top of my head, the longest odds was the Tiafimo fight. Not sure who's fighting off the top of my head, but that long shot odds, minus 2,500 type of stuff you see in boxing when you're talking about the money line. Basically telling you this man should walk away from this fight with the W, whether it be knockout, decision, doesn't matter. Going into some of the tighter fights that I have on this card, we have Golovkin versus Canelo.
Triple G versus Canelo.
Yeah, Canelo's minus 450 in that fight, another heavy favorite. Moving on to the next one, Joshua and Anthony, and we got Usyk in the rematch. Usyk's minus 200.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. And then the slimmest odds on what I got Spence beating Crawford in their fight, and that's minus 110. Now, that is a number that you could typically see someone playing if they were trying to attack the money line with the boxing match. But as you see with a lot of these bouts, you typically seeing a number that's hard to play if you're looking at the money line. There's not much value there. And in this round robin, and for those that don't know, basically a round robin is essentially a mini parlay. I have 4 fighters that I got down to win. You can bet different combinations, but the way I did it, I played the 3s and the 4. Essentially, every combination of 3 fighters, and that's its own individual parlay. Okay. So you have those, and then you have all 4 to win outright. So in this all together, I believe it ends up being about plus 940 in that range if all win. If somebody happens to get the upset, there's still ways for that parlay to come through, depending on who loses or what exactly happens. But I did this last time around. I believe it was Golovkin, Haney, Fury, and I can't remember the last fighter off the top of my head. But 4 heavy favorites going into their fight. I think the closest fight to not winning in my favor was the Haney fight, and that was just a outright decision. Anybody
Yeah.
that saw that fight knew Haney was walking away with the decision if he didn't put him down.
Yeah.
So, I'm attacking the book in the same way. So, yes, it seems a little bit different or odd, but as I said, with boxing, you kind of got to find ways to work the angles in your favor. The same way I might put together a parlay to try and get better odds on two favorites in two baseball games, which is something y'all seen me do before. It can really take that minus number and turn it into a plus number, where even if you end up losing, you're not losing as much as you would if you were playing that big minus number by itself.
All right. And we got a question here from Mr. J. It says, D Weezy, do you know when they are going to allow betting in the country of Texas? I'm learning the lingo, but can't do nothing with it.
Well, I mean, really, you just got to dig into your legislation and see what's going on. Texas might be one of the bigger hurdles as far as states out there, just when you get into the politics and things and people's general perception and opinion of things like sports gambling. Um, so I think in Texas you may have a little bit of a weight on your hands from the things that I've heard out there. I know here in North Carolina we're right on the cusp of it going into action. The last legislation session, we fell shy by one vote, and we had 19 people that didn't show up. Let's just say there's a lot of people upset with those 19 people.
Yeah, they're definitely feeling the heat this time around.
Don't ask me. Yeah.
Raver Ron has his Raver Degenerate Ron is back. He is back. He said, "Here are his bets. None. No sports today. I'm up." Oh, okay. He says he's up on money for the month though. Tomorrow's bets: New York Yankees against Houston. Game 1. Yankees money line. Texas Miami under 7. Oakland Detroit. Take Oakland money line. D Weezy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely think this is something that could come through. Yankees, hot team. Yes, Houston's a strong team. The All-Star break can be that time of year where, regardless of sport, it may be a little bit of a reset button. But looking at what we know with them going into the break and the way the teams have been playing, I definitely have to lean to the Yankees in that game. And then Texas, Miami. This is definitely a game that could probably end up going towards the under. A couple of bad teams. The pitching staffs do have the potential of giving up runs, but it's a question of can the batting cash in on that, whether it be getting people on base. RBIs can be a real difference maker when you're talking about game total unders and things like that. Potentially how many runners left on base do you see out of a certain team or a certain combination of teams, more or less. So, yeah, I could definitely get behind the under there. And then with Oakland and Detroit, I mean, you kind of splitting the baby there. Not really a team you might want to get behind, but I would see Oakland being the better of the two. They probably have the better pitching staff going out there. And coming out of the break against a potential lesser team, you might want to lean towards something like the pitching staff, where they probably didn't have either many arms involved in the All-Star game, if any, and that could work in their favor.
All right. And Raven Ron, we're gonna leave it at this. Some great advice to you first-time gamblers. Says, reminder, degenerates, only bet 3 to 5% of your bankroll / disposable income for the month on bets. Okay, bet responsibly. Well said, Raven Ron.
Yes, and that's a real good way of approaching things. As you've heard me say before, in reference to like you or the amount per bet, it's not about trying to bet the house on one bet. And so, if you come across something where for you it may be $20, for somebody else it may be $5, regardless of what it is. My perspective has always been, think about whatever you're about to bet. Are you willing to lose that number right now? just downright, if you lost right now, are you content with the amount of money that you're about to hand over? If that
Right.
answer is no, you're probably trying to bet too much, or you're betting outside your comfort zone.
There you go. All right. That is it for this session of Lunch Money Bets. If you want to see more of D Weezy, D Weezy's going to tell you where you can find more of him. D Weezy, where can they find more of you?
Yeah, y'all can get at me at Backyard Action Media here on YouTube, and you can also catch me on LGR with the highlight show covering NFL betting during the season. We currently are going over win totals for divisions, and we'll be moving more into possibly player props as the season gets closer, and then in season team spreads. Any angles or plays that we might like or catches our eye. So definitely come out and check out things I got going on, because like the fella said in the beginning, when I get hot, I get hot. It's that simple. I may not be right all the time, but I've shown before, if I get on a roll, you might want to get behind it because it'll work out in your favor.
There you go. All right. You can also find D Weezy on our Discord. He has his own channel called the Lunch Money Bets on our Discord. And also he hangs out with us on the Overtime Show, which happens right after this show. So D Weezy, thank you very much. And we will see you soon, my friend.
All right, everybody take care out there.
All right. Take it easy. Yes, that was D Weezy. And shout out to Living Legend coming through. Yes. And when William Anderson says, "Let's go," says the best podcast is back. Yeah, man. Yeah. We had to make some last minute scrambling, but we do this for you guys. All right. As mentioned, okay, right below me, patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right. We have a few tiers. As little as $3 a month, you can help support the show. And look, I tell you, man, we put everything back into this puppy. All right. We're trying to build something here. So everybody that supported, everybody that donates, we really appreciate it. But B is going to tell you about these tiers real quick. All right.
Yeah, so the $3 tier will get you into our NFL Pick'em League, and we give away a custom LBHT trophy at the end of every season to the winner of the Pick'em League. The $10 tier.
That was me, by the way.
God, man, every time I get rolling and y'all just derail it. At the $10 tier, you're going to get entrance into our fantasy football league. We have a dynasty league going, like Jose mentioned. It's full right now. If there's enough interest, we'll start up a second dynasty league, but we will have a regular redraft league closer to the start of the season. That also gets you the LBHT crew coin that I believe Jose has there.
There you go.
Yes, and the ability to request specific content if you want a video or article about a sports topic that we don't cover on the show. You can let us know and we'll produce that for you. The $20 tier is a combined tier for this show as well as the Ring Kings podcast, where you get everything that I just mentioned, along with our custom poker deck featuring our top 25 fighters of all time. I don't know if Jose has the picture of that ready.
I do. Yep, I do.
Yes. So they came out really well. Each number has a different fighter on it, and you can check out the top 25 list on Ring Kings podcast. It's a 5-part series, and really, really fun discussion that we had there. And all of the tiers get you entrance into the Discord channel and the Overtime Show.
And just so you know, this dynasty league that we're in, okay, it's serious. This is what they're playing for right here. This is what they're playing for.
Yes.
All right, that's the current belt. All right, this is last year's champion. Shout out to Deshaun. Okay, this year, this is what it's about. That's a quality belt. The Dragon Ball Z characters smoking on the side, that is Deshaun's logo. So the champion gets their logo put on the side plates. So when I win this year, you will see my logo on the side. Okay. But yeah, we have a lot of fun in this league. And if you want to be a part of it, patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right. Even if you just want to support with $3, that gets you into the Discord, and that's well worth it. All right. Also, if you like what we're wearing, right, You like what B's wearing. You like what I got on. Mikey got some gear too. I actually got Mikey's gear. He just ordered a bunch of stuff. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it over here. All right. He got to come pick it up. But right here, let me pull this up. Boom. LBHTShow.com. Okay, that's where you can find it. That's where you can find the merch. Okay, we have all kinds of stuff. You like the mug, right? Lunch break hot take mug. We got that. You need something to hold your liquids in. Okay, all this stuff is on the store. Yeah, man, and let us know what you think of it. I see a lot of people check it out. Some people order. If you order something, leave a comment. Send us an email. Let us know what you think of it. If there's something that you like to see on the store, let us know. We're constantly making changes to it. We want to provide you guys stuff that you like on there. All right. And also, while we got the trio here, Ring Kings Podcast. Yes, go ahead over there and subscribe. B talked about the 25 all-time series that we have up there. We just put out part 1 of our pound for pound list. Part 2 is coming out soon. Okay, we have a top 10 pound for pound list. We'll probably do that every few months as these fights happen. But it's a lot of fun over there. We're putting out a lot of content, so I hope you guys enjoy it. All right,
Go check out my rant about ESPN.
Yes, ESPN. They're obviously biased towards Top Rank. I don't think that's a secret to anyone. But look, it's just painfully obvious, and they won't try to hide it. And when you become shill for the company and certain fighters, it's just disgusting, right? Be somewhat. I mean, I understand you're gonna play a little bit of favoritism, but I mean, they go all the way in. It's worse than wrestling, right? With the scripting that they have going on over there. But all right, look. No, I was gonna say bonus time. Ain't bonus time yet. Panthers. The Panthers got some new gear. That's all right. Let's pull this up. Let's take a look at what they got going on. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Looking nice. Look at that helmet. Yes. Check that out. Okay. All right. 53. All right. I see Spider-Man. Yes. All right. So, all right, B, the Panthers fan, give us your thoughts. Chat, put your thoughts in the chat. Let us know what you think about the new uniform.
I think it looks outstanding. I think it's been way too long that they've waited for this. The fans have been asking for that for a very, very long time. I think they look kind of silly with their silver helmets. I mean, they're one of the few teams that have really hung on to the 90s aesthetic. I think it's time that they update it. But even without a full-on redesign, this looks really good. It should be their full-time uniform, but they're not going to be wearing it until November, their Thursday night game against Atlanta. So we're probably only going to see it a couple times this year, but hopefully that changes in the future.
All right. The chat is liking it. Mr. J said he's not Spidey. He's Venom when he's wearing a black suit. I like that. Yeah. Listen, Shaheen says, he says 7-10 never looked so good.
You know what? I'll take 7 wins. Okay, I'm prepared for fewer.
You're hoping for fewer. Yeah. So look, I like it, right? It reminds me of the Ravens when they had their blackout uniforms. Every time they wear it, I'm just like, why don't they wear that all the time, right? Yeah. The purple's nice, it's all right, but those black unis, man, they look tight. But it made me and B wonder, right? I'm just like, why don't NFL teams do that more? Why don't just pro teams in the U.S. do that more in general, right? Like, we were talking about University of Oregon. University of Oregon, every week that they play, they have a new uniform. They look great. Every now and then you might look at one like, I'm not feeling that, but they're going to come back next week strong. You know that, right? And the thing is, for all the different color combinations, the different styles that they have, when they take the field, it's Oregon, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they had that certain style to them, right?
Yeah, they got the chromed out wings on their helmet.
Man, it's dope. They got it, right? So I'm just like, man, why don't they do something like that? And B had to bring to my attention. He's like, they do something like that everywhere else. Okay. Which league is it? Was it the Premier League?
The Premier League. You know, they make a big deal every year. Their kits, as they call them, get redesigned every year, and they have a big reveal for everybody's new uniforms. And you know, obviously that leads to a bunch of new sales ahead of the new season. But yeah, here, I mean, I don't understand this clinging to these ugly uniforms. Like, I don't ever want to see, like, why can't Aaron Rodgers look nice when he plays football? Why does he got to wear the green and the yellow with a big G on the side of his head? Why does he got to look stupid? You know, why did the Steelers have to go out there in their bumblebee uniforms? Why you got to look like that? You know, why can't you hire a company and redesign your uniforms, look good, feel good, play good, right?
I agree.
That's what it is.
I agree. How would you guys feel about this? How would you guys feel if every year they were unveiling, each team would unveil their new uniforms? That's just more to talk about in the offseason.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we're talking about the Panthers right now. Those look good, you know, and that's just another thing that helps you get excited about the season. But you know, the Giants, you know, sporting their old school look, right?
They made a huge deal. They're like, we're going back to blue. You were wearing blue every year. Slightly different shade. All right.
Yeah, man. I just I don't get it, man. Like every year, I would be excited to see what our team did every year, right? And look, go ahead, Mikey.
They're with the right company. Like Nike is creative enough.
Phil Knight. That's what that's Oregon.
To make it fun. I think it's just the league or these teams that are like, you know, hold back. Like they're trying to do it with the color rush, right? I mean, that's cool, but they got to get out of there.
Yeah.
You got to get out of there.
You saw it with the color rush. I really like that idea. You know, hey, every team's gonna have their own alternate uniform. It's gonna be all one solid color. I mean, obviously, you know, you didn't have a lot of flexibility in the design there, but it was something different, right? Yeah. And man, Americans crapped all over that.
Yeah.
They were not trying to hear it.
It's weird. It's weird. Like with professional sports, like you said, the fan base doesn't want to see it. You know, college is dope. It's super fun when the college kids are doing it.
Yeah.
But once it reaches the pro ranks, it's like, hold on. You can't touch that. We need that hue of blue to be the same. We need that star to look the same. It's like, I think every team should have at least 5 alternate jerseys.
Listen, we did a show on Ring King's channel talking about boxers in Thailand, right? What their tradition is with their ring names, right? Imagine if there's something like that for just athletes over here. Okay, so if you didn't hear that story, all right, in Thailand, with what they do, boxers for their ring name is they'll take a nickname as their first name, and then for the last name they will have the name of their sponsor. All right, so the guy that we were talking about, his name was Knockout CP Freshmart. Okay, Knockout. His nickname CP Freshmart is the name of the company that sponsors him. Okay, and it's funny, but it's unique, and you never forget it. Imagine if players were doing that over here, right? Not every player has to do it, but like the superstars, that would be
like
awesome.
it would be Queen Royal Farms. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, something like that. They don't want to sign him up, but I mean somebody else, somebody who's playing well.
Yeah. I mean, but just imagine like somebody named Knockout Freshmart. I mean, you get knocked out and you can go get fresh produce. Like it makes sense. You know, it all makes sense.
Yeah. So Garnett said the blackout helmet symbolizes the blackout TV service they would go through. He says he's just kidding. He's kidding. All right. Living legend likes the new uniforms, B. Shaheen says, I think Ravens should change the logo and design something more creative, like a combination of the bird and the shield. I mean, they've changed the logo a couple of times already, right?
Yeah, they've done little redesigns on the logo.
But I wouldn't be against it. Yes, yeah. I'm about to say I wouldn't be against it. Yeah, you're right, Shaheen. But yeah, I just wish, you know, we wouldn't be so conservative over here, man. Like Sports is, I mean, we don't have fun with it. I know we think, you know, this is the pinnacle of pro sports. It can get no better than what we're doing, but they have way more fun with it everywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, we take it way too seriously. Like we're talking about baseball, right? They had the All-Star game. Baseball's whack. That's why we don't cover it, right? Yeah. I know there might be a couple baseball fans in the chat, but let's start talking some baseball on here. Watch how fast you leave, because you don't really like baseball, right? A lot of people say they like baseball. Oh yeah, I love baseball. Yeah, you know, but you don't really like baseball. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me put the bonus time on here as I ran about baseball. Okay. It's bonus time, guys. It's bonus time. We're going to hang out here for a couple minutes, read your comments, and then we're going to take this party over to the Overtime Show. If you want to be a part of the Overtime Show, patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right. The Cash Apps, like I said, I haven't been keeping up with it, but thank you everybody that's been submitting Cash Apps. We have some technical difficulties. That's my bad. I didn't even think about that. I should have had that set up. But the next show, everybody that's donated enough comments, I'm going to get them up on the screen. That's the benefit of doing it that way, Cash App, and also the stream elements. That's automatic, so that automatically come up on the screen if you donate there. But if we miss something, fear not, your message will be read. Okay, so thank you everybody. Okay, what we got here? Tanja likes the helmets. She likes the helmets. Okay, right. She said they're fire. Let's see. Jake P says, I'm happy the Orioles are doing well, but baseball is buns to watch.
Respectfully. Gotta put it respectfully on it.
No, Hendo does not mean a bonus show this week. No, but look, you got your bonus show. Okay. We just put out a video earlier this morning. Okay. The LBHT top 10 QB list. Man. Okay. Featuring Hendo. Hendo was on there.
You have a channel that's got more subscribers than us.
Yeah.
Go do a show.
Yo, we've been telling y'all Hendo is the hottest thing in the Ravens community. We weren't lying. Okay. Yes. We weren't lying. Yeah. Hendo's the man. Okay.
And he's gonna be all bashful about it, but he is.
Yeah.
He's making his name in the Ravens game. So
absolutely. Yes. He's also, if you check out our video earlier, Hendo's on there. Okay. Spitting the hot fire. All right. So yeah, check out that list, man. I've been seeing the comments. You guys have been enjoying that list for the most part. Yeah. Look, we had to make sure. Look, we're not big fans of those lists, right? We're not. Yeah. But a lot of people were really upset that Lamar was taking off a fake list on, you know, that ESPN did, and all it is a clickbait. What they're doing, they do that on purpose. So we said, okay, look, we'll give you a list, and it's the only list that you have to look at. Okay, you don't need to look at anybody else's list, right? Just look at ours. Is ours clickbait too? Yeah, sure, right? But it's not the obvious clickbait. We're not sitting there saying no Pat Mahomes on our list, right? Like we're not doing that nonsense. Everybody put a lot of thought into it, and we came up with the list, and it was a good conversation. All right, that's how it should be. Shaheen says, any predictions for Deshaun's suspensions? The rumor is 4 to 6 games, and that's what I thought initially. I thought 6 to 8 games for Deshaun. I thought it would be similar to what Ben Roethlisberger got. I didn't really think there's a precedence for anything more than that, even though what he's alleged to have done sounds horrible. It does, right? Mm-hmm. But you know, when you don't set a high bar for certain people, you know, it's tough to set it for other people. And the talk is that if he does get a year, he's going to sue the league, which I thought he would. Right.
Yeah, and it's probably not great that reportedly the league's response in that hearing when they were questioned about the clause in the CBA that says owners will be held to a higher standard than players in terms of, you know, off-field issues,
which they would never be able to do.
Discipline. Yeah. Their response was that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. That's not relevant.
Right.
So that's not great. I did want to mention one other thing real quick, just because, I mean, this is not a story that I want to cover or anything, but Mike Robinson, the former Seahawks fullback, he went on TV and he said some things about Baker. He said he might not have a top 64 arm in the NFL, and it's not true. All right, I don't appreciate Michael putting me in a position to have to defend Baker Mayfield. So I'll just say it's not true that he doesn't have a top 64 arm. He clearly does. He's I think a fringe starter to me. But screw you, Mike. All right, not you, the other one, but Michael Robinson.
Well, I am. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. And look how painful that was. That looked like that hurt, dude.
Listen,
I didn't like it.
Listen. He's doing a Cambosa thing. He's playing with his mind. He's playing mind tricks, right? Like he's actually rooting for Baker. Okay, yeah. But he knows Baker only plays well when he's got the chip on his shoulder. Okay, the chip. All right, he needs a chip on his shoulder. So he did that for Baker's sake, right? So Baker go out there and throw the rock. And shout out to Saul Martinez says, "Hola, ¿cómo están? Bien, muy bien." Yes, thanks for coming through. Yes.
I see.
He said.
How do I say we did get a cash app from Anonymous. Thank you very much. He says probability that Mr. Mayfield will start by week 1 or 2. Don't know why you're doing this to me.
Oh, week 1.
It's a
lock.
Okay. You know what? Yeah, y'all go ahead. Y'all got that. Okay, fine. You don't need my input on that.
Shout out to Noah, man. Thank you. Big timer Noah says, "Happy LBHT Day. Hope the crew is alive and well. Go M's." Okay.
Noah working at OT, man.
He working, man. Yeah. Got some a little promotion there. Okay, I see you. All right.
But yeah, Anonymous, I think it's gonna be week 1, unfortunately. I mean, I'm not even think he's definitely gonna be starting against Cleveland. And there are some rumors out there that Cleveland might be looking at bringing in Cam, depending on what happens with the Deshaun Watson suspension. So it could potentially be Baker Mayfield starting against Cleveland, who is starting Cam Newton against Carolina.
You want to talk about a migraine?
And I cannot even describe to you how disgusted that makes me.
B. What if? Because they might as well bring in Cam Newton. He's getting at least 6 games, Deshaun Watson. But what if they brought in Cam Newton and he looked amazing?
If they brought in Cam Newton as a starter and he suited up week 1 against the Carolina Panthers and they beat the Carolina Panthers and he looked really good, I would stop being a Carolina Panthers fan.
I think a lot of Panthers fans would stop being Carolina Panthers fans.
I would be looking Monday morning. I would be looking for a new team.
Because they were in contact. Because this will make it worse. They've been in contact with Cam Newton this whole time. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows that, right? Cam has said it, right? It's been reported. They're kind of looking around, and he was the backup plan if things didn't go their way. They got Baker
Mayfield. Didn't.
It didn't. But they go and get Baker Mayfield, says, "Cam, we don't need your services. Thank you." And he goes and signs with the Browns. And behind that good O-line, 2 really good running backs. Amari Cooper. All right. Austin Hooper. If he goes out
there. David Njoku and Harrison Bryant.
If he goes out there and balls out, he just whoops you guys, and then just goes on like until Deshaun comes back looking like a Pro Bowler. It's 2 interesting things, right? One, what do the Browns do, right? Like, hey, they're hot, they're winning with Cam. Cam looks like he's back. But you got Deshaun Watson there, right? What do you do there? And 2, obviously the Panther side of it, like the man was sitting here this whole time, and we just said no thanks, and now we got Baker.
The time when we think we finally fixed the O-line, Christian McCaffrey's healthy. You got Deonta Foreman and Chuba Hubbard. You've got what looks like now 3 wide receivers. If Terrace Marshall can keep it going, you said thanks, but no thanks.
Mr. J said Cam in a Browns jersey makes me uneasy. I feel you, man. I feel you. If Lamar went to the Steelers, you wouldn't hear me talking about football that year.
Yeah, you would, with a terrible towel in your hand.
Never. I would never do that. Now, if he goes to Miami, you might see me with some Miami apparel. I'm just giving you a heads up.
You might have some Cuban links.
I like the colors. Shaheed says, if that happens, Brodny, I wouldn't recommend the Ravens because you have to deal with.
Oh no, I
Harbaugh.
no. There's no chance of Baltimore. Like,
no chance. I mean,
no
there's
chance.
some chance.
No chance of
Just
Baltimore.
A little chance. Okay.
I've been telling you for years how they run things just like Carolina. It's just, they I don't want to say they got lucky. They didn't get lucky, right? But they won the Super Bowls they went to. Carolina's been to 2 Super Bowls also. They just lost them, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the difference in the franchises right there. Baltimore won their 2 Super Bowls. Carolina lost their 2 Super Bowls. And other than that, I'm looking at a team that's looking pretty incompetent. Yeah, I mean, they both have one murderer.
We've had back-to-back winning seasons.
Okay, you know what? It's whatever. All right.
Don C, I'm at Ring King's gym, man. It's behind Jose's house, actually. This whole thing is
That's what we put in the work. Can't you tell? Just Al says the Ravens organization has an inflated reputation. I agree. Look, when Ozzie was a GM, things were great early on. And then Ozzie kind of had his up and down seasons too. Like Ozzie wasn't perfect, but overall, Ozzie built that reputation.
Yeah.
And EDC's just living off of that reputation.
Well, the game passed him by a little bit, and he quit.
A little bit, yeah.
He got out.
I want to say a little bit,
like you should.
I want to say a little bit because he got Lamar. He's the only reason we're still relevant today.
Yeah.
Today.
Lamar and Mark, right?
And shout out to Engraven. I saw Engraven do a video and he was talking about. I didn't see any list, but he said EDC wasn't a top 10 GM. Like he was asking the question. I guess somebody maybe like somebody emailed him or whatever the questions from subscribers and was like EDC is EDC a top 10 GM? No. No, he's not. And I root for EDC. I keep saying I believe in EDC. He's going to turn a corner, but no, like everything that you love about this team right now is all Ozzie's guys.
Yeah.
Right. Not hope for, right? You guys don't love Prochet, right? You hope. You don't love Ole. You hope he turns out to be great. You don't love Bateman. You hope he turns out to be great. You don't love those guys yet. You have a lot of hope for these guys. Some of these guys I do too. I believe in Rashad Bateman. The people that you love, Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, that's pretty much it. Let's be real about it. Marlon Humphrey, Ronnie Stanley, like those guys that you look at like, hey, we need these guys. That's 100% Ozzie. 100% Ozzie. What's up, NDT Sports? Says, hey guys, sorry I'm late. Hey, NDT, whenever you show up, you are right on time, my friend. But it is kind of late. We about to get up out of here.
Dude, you late though. That's all right.
JP says, I believe in EDC, but out of 32, I gotta put him at 15 to 17, and that's being generous.
Jake is pretty savage with it, man. He said I believe in him, but he kind of trash though.
He sounded like Ferris on our top 10 QB list. Like, I love this guy. I love him. He's the best in the league. I had a number 8 on my list.
No doubt, top 5. I put him at 7.
I think that was me.
Yeah. We did get another Cash App, another anonymous Cash App. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It says for the percentage of passing plays for the Ravens in 2022. I'm gonna say 54.
54 passing.
54% passing. I think there, which is pretty low, right? And I think it's just they've handicapped themselves severely this offseason with the receiving options. So they're locking themselves into we're going to run a lot.
They're doing it on purpose because that's what they're comfortable with. They think,
Yeah.
okay, the one mistake that they see clear as day was that they did not focus on the O line, and clearly they put a lot of focus on the O line this offseason. And I think that's the area where they feel like, okay, O line will be back. We're getting our running backs back and healthy, and we can run the ball a lot. That's where we're safe. Lamar obviously has improved as a passer, and excuse me, we do enough. We have enough weapons there to where they'll make safe catches. We're not going to do anything complicated. We'll move the ball as needed, and when all this fails, Lamar will just take over the game and win us the game, because that's what they do, right? It's lazy coaching. But when we really get behind, when their game plan isn't working, they say, Lamar, can you just do something special, please? And he says, yeah, okay, I'll do something special, and he wins us the game. And that's why I say this coaching staff is lazy, because what he was doing beginning of the season last year that had him in the toss for MVP early on, that wasn't scheme that did that.
Yeah.
Right? That wasn't great coaching that did that. That was all Lamar just saying, I'm gonna take over this game. Right. And him and Andrews just doing amazing stuff out there, and Hollywood too. Right. That had nothing to do with coaching. So they'll, more of that, but better blocking this year, and they'll, that's their formula to win. All right. Let's see. What we got here. Garnett says, we are set up to fail right when the playoffs begin. We are literally gambling away your Lamar's last year on pedestrian receivers. The playoffs is all about star power and being able to take over games. Yeah. This fan base, look, they don't understand that until it's too late, right? The Ravens organization, they don't understand that until it's too late, when they're in the games and then there's literally nothing they can do. And like they have no answers. That's when everybody gets mad. That's when they're saying, oh, we'll do better next year. But next year, they don't want to spend any money.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it at the end of the season, right? The clear needs in Baltimore on offense. But by the time the offseason rolls around, all the fans are going to be saying, get us that defense. Get us those defensive players, right? And it's just, it's really difficult to see a team doing the whole 3 yards in a cloud of dust on their way to a Super Bowl at this point.
Yeah.
You have to be able to air it out. You're going to get behind at some point. The other teams that you're going to be playing are really good. You're going to get behind at some point. You have to be able to score quickly and get yourself back in the game, and Baltimore's not built to do it.
I mean, look, we did a live stream after that Bills and Chiefs game. It was a shootout. That was an amazing game to watch. You guys know we can't do something like that, right? If Gabriel Davis went off on us like that, that game's a wrap. Early. Like as much as you love Rashad Bateman, there's no way you think you're going to throw the ball to him and he's just going to throw the peace sign and smoke everybody on defense, right? Like, he ain't that guy, right? We don't have that kind of speed, and we don't have that kind of playmaking ability on this team. So we rely a lot on defense doing their job and holding teams, even these high-power offenses, to within striking distance to keep us in games, and we can methodically work our way down the field. And a lot of times, it works more times than not. But when we get to the playoffs, that's when we had those issues, right? You gotta be able to score quick when you need to score quick. All right, like that game. I like to remind people that was a high-scoring game. The Bills were the number 1 defense and the number 1 passing defense. Okay, and with 13 seconds left, they couldn't hold their lead.
It's a different ball game in the playoffs, man. Like you said, that it works in the regular season more times than not, right? The game plan for the Ravens is stay in the game, keep it close, and then wear them down the stretch. Right? The defense is too tired. They can't stop Lamar. They can't stop the running backs, and that's their claim to fame. But when you get to the playoffs, it's a different ball game. Different everything. One split change can affect the whole dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
Right. And you get behind. Right now, I like to say, people's, butt cheeks get tight. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's a different game. You already, it's no tomorrow if you lose this game. So now you're reacting differently to that adversity by getting behind some or early, right? So it's just a different ballgame. Why put yourself in those situations? What I'm hoping for is Lamar is ticked off enough this year because he didn't get paid, and he calls whatever he wants to. He checks out of everything, and he runs it the way he wants to. Who's gonna stop him, right? Who's gonna stop me from doing what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I hope that we see a little bit of that this year, even if he does get paid, right? I'm the man now. I'm the man here. You gotta trust me with that. I'm checking out of this. I'm gonna run what I think is gonna work best. So we'll see, man. But it's just the fact that they don't, and I agree with you, Zay, it is a coaching issue. The fact that they don't know how to adjust in those type of situations is scary. It is very, very scary. The one game that keeps playing in my head is the Titans game in the playoffs when they
And
came
we
here.
did. I'm sorry, Mike. We did get another anonymous Cash App here. Thank you very much. It
Appreciate it.
says, if Mr. Jackson doesn't sign by week 1, is he gone?
Well, he's not signing by week 1. You mean week 1 of the season?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I say no. I still say no. Right? Because I can see him not signing anything this season at all, but him playing at a high level again. And then they just had no. The Ravens. I know everybody's like, oh, we can franchise him twice. The Ravens do not want to franchise this man. He's already costing them $23 million against their cap that they don't want to. They don't want to spend the $23 million now. They don't want to pay. They don't want to have $36 million on their cap next year, right? No matter how much the cap goes up, they don't want that kind of hit. So if he has another great season, a lot of people expect an MVP type season out of him. I do, and if that happens. Not only are they going to pay him, I told me, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised at a number that says 60 mil per year, right? I told you guys before. I told you guys beginning last year, I would pay him 50 mil per year, right? And everybody's like, no, that's too high. Now 50 million is where we're starting. If you don't sign him by the season next year, don't be surprised when the number goes up to 60. That's all I'm saying. And they'll pay it. They'll do just like what Dallas did. They play around with Dak. Dak got hurt. I will remind you guys, Dak got hurt that season that they didn't want to pay him. They tagged him, right? He was franchise tagged. They tagged him. He ain't worth it. He goes down. That team in the gutter. They were trash. And they said, all right, we're not going to play around with this man's money anymore. And at the time, he was the highest paid quarterback in the league when he signed his deal. Okay, injury isn't going to mess up Lamar's money either. But if he has an MVP type season, it's only going to make it go up even higher. So
I'll say I agree with everything you said except for one thing. I think that they like having that big cap hit for Lamar because then you don't have to answer questions about, hey, why didn't you spend money on the rest of the offense? Hey, I bet they like hearing people say they're in the top, 8 to 10 of spending on offense and not giving any context to it. Like they, and if that number jumps up, into the mid 30s next year, they're like, well, yeah, we were going to get a wide receiver,
at this
but
point,
we can't afford it because that's their favorite thing to say is we were gonna do it, but then something happened.
They'll say that anyway. They could have 50 million cap room and say, hey, well, look, we wanted the guy. It just didn't work out, right? That's what they'll say. Because we had plenty of opportunities to get wide receivers here over the years, and they're just like, no, we're just not doing it. Like they don't believe in spending money on wide receivers. It's a stupid philosophy in today's football.
Can I point out a comment, fellas?
Yeah.
I think is it Jared 2024?
You mean Jason Ridley? Jay Rid?
Oh, Jay Rid, yes.
Jay Rid.
Which one?
I'm sorry, Jay Rid. We said I need Lamar to that one.
Yeah.
So I think this is to Garnett's point, right? Like it gets to a point where star power takes over, and he doesn't have that on the field in those situations. He doesn't have a Stephon Diggs. He doesn't have a DeAndre Hopkins. He doesn't have a Tyreek Hill. He doesn't have a Devontae Adams. He doesn't have that type of star power around him. So these type of things happen when you don't have that. I think this is exactly proving Garnett's point, where you set up to fail. This kid is set up to fail when you don't have the star power around him to make him look better in situations when he is forcing a throw, because that happens too. You know what I mean?
I'll say, yeah, I'm throwing it to a covered Mark Andrews over an open James Prochet every single time. Every time.
Listen, like I said, you saw what Tyreek Hill did in that Buffalo game. All right, like that. He got the ball, and there are 3 defenders ahead of him, and he said, "Peace," because y'all ain't catching me. And they didn't catch him. And yes, Tyreek Hill's gone now. People are like, oh, let's see what he does without Tyreek Hill. I'll tell you what they're gonna do. Mecole Hardman. If you guys don't think Mecole Hardman can't do that,
yeah.
Okay. Well, Mecole and Sky Moore and Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Juju Smith.
And Juju, yeah.
Like they have receivers.
Yeah, yeah. And they got receivers that can make some plays, right? None of them are the playmaker that Tyreek Hill is. I'm not gonna take that away from them, but don't think that they don't have any burners. Mecole Hardman is a burner.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He was just like the 3rd or 4th option on the team. Now he's gonna move up a little bit. Yeah, Sky Moore. Yeah. But yeah, like we just yeah, like we don't have playmakers like that. And Mark Andrews is not that type of playmaker, right? He's very good. He can make some nice contested catches. He'll drop some easy ones too. But you can't throw the ball to Mark Andrews and he can take it to the house. You could do that. You could do that with Kelsey, right? We saw that on Monday night too. He did 2 of them. He did one get them to overtime and then did it again in overtime, right? Mark Andrews can't do that. Okay, very good, but he's not that type of playmaker. We don't have that kind of playmaker on our team. So when we get behind and we need to make something happen, that's why Hollywood was so important, because Hollywood, he didn't make that happen a lot, but he had that threat, right? When we need to get downfield, he had that speed and he can make those catches, and at least we can get chunks of yards doing it that way. This year, we're hoping that's Duvernay, for being honest. We're hoping Duvernay is that guy, or Tylan Wallace, that guy that can really stretch the field. So, all right.
That is sad.
All right, Mikey, I'm gonna let you get the last word, and we're gonna get up out of here. We hit 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Hour and 30 minutes, man. Look,
I know,
a great show as always, man. I'm in as you can see, I'm in the gym. You know, after we get off here, right before the overtime show, I'm gonna hit the bag a few times, and I'm gonna join the overtime show. That's just how we do. We stay ready here. But no, good show, fellas. As always, I'm looking forward to next week, man. Matter of fact, have me on next week. Have me on the play. When do the players show up?
Next week.
Next Tuesday.
Oh, yes. Have me on next week. Have me on next week. Please.
Yes. All right. We will leave it there. Everybody that came through, thank you so much. And B, thanks for coming through, even though you know they try to shut you down over there. They try to shut you down, B.
Yeah, and again, Mike, I appreciate you coming on. We were in a tough spot there for a minute.
Yes.
So appreciate you, Mike.
B is no problem, man. Anytime. I told Jose that long time ago. Anytime.
Yes.
Man. But B's not telling y'all the real reason why his computer's down. Me and Jose told him 2 days ago that he is forced to stream live Brain Team's podcast when Adrian Broner is fighting.
That's right.
In a couple of weeks, and I think it ticked him off, and that's why his computer.
It ticked me off. My computer got me though. I got you. Don't worry about it.
We're gonna get it up and running though. We're gonna get it up and running. Listen, man. Look. We try to be some of the most consistent people out here, right? Which is why, even though there's, we have issues like that, we find workarounds. We move quick. We think quick, and we got good people like Mikey here to back us up when we need help. We want to bring you that consistency every single week. Last week, I wasn't feeling good. Didn't matter. We still doing a show. If there's ever a time where we can't give you a show, we're gonna give you something recorded, right? We've done that before, but we trying to give you that level of consistency that you guys are looking for every week. I know it's frustrating when you looking forward to something and last minute, and life happens. It's unavoidable, but we try to prepare the best we can to make sure we give you something. So we're glad you guys are enjoying it. thank you very much. All right. Well, I was gonna ask you if you're ready, but am I ready this time? All right.
Yes.
Patrons, give us a couple minutes. We're gonna fire up Overtime Show. Everybody else, if you want to be a part of it, patreon.com/LBHT Show. Listen. I said this a while back. The $3 tier ain't gonna be around for much longer. Okay, prices are going up. Everything's going up. Okay, everything's going up. We extended it a little bit longer because we know how it is out there. Gas prices and everything, man. We want to give you something that's cheap. This is cheaper than gas, by the way. This is cheaper than a gallon of gas. I just want you guys to think about that. Cheaper than a gallon of gas. All right. Yeah, but every Wednesday night after the show, this will be on the Overtime Show. But if not, thank you for hanging out. We will see you next week. Y'all have a great night and a great week, and we will see you next time. Peace out.